What's up? What's up, y'all? Oh my God, it's been a minute and I'm so sorry. I am so sorry that I have been gone. I have been resting. I have been taking care of self. I've been doing all that good stuff. Me and Shaquansha girl, how you doing?
Girl, I'm good. It's good to see you. I, y'all, this heifer is sitting over here with no clothes on. Girl, could you not have put a robe on? Cover yourself up, girl. Your titties hanging. Like, cover up. I know we friends and all, but you ain't, cover up, girl. Why you all out like that?
I mean, I don't even understand why these people can't see me, Shaquansha. Why would you put my business out there like that? Girl, I'm comfortable. I'm at home. I'm relaxing. I'm just taking in all of me.
Apparently you are, girl, because I see all of you, and I really should will cover up all of you, because ain't nobody trying to see that. And babe, why even? Oh, girl, go grab a robe. Grab a robe. I'll talk to the folks. Go grab a robe.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Oh, girl, take your time and put a bra on them things. Girl, they look like African raisins in the sun, girl. You look like you belong in a National Geographic magazine with them elongated, dried up, wrinkled titties, girl. I'm glad you got a good bra. They look fruitful on video, but girl, if y'all knew the truth. Okay, let me stop before she get back up in here. Y'all, so let me tell y'all why we ain't been on here. This heifer have decided that she wanted to get caught up on the have and have nots. So she has been binge watching the have and the have nots. Now she knows she hold on, here she comes.
What was you saying about me? I know you said something about National Geographic. Girl, don't do too don't do too much. I'm telling people my business. Anyway, y'all, I am so glad to be back. I'm glad that I am here talking to you guys, and I hope you've had a wonderful week. We are about to get into a closer look, episode 5, and we're going to talk about a little bit more about what we talked about last time, Tony from the bookstore, but we also want to get into some topics that within this last week, we're going to do that. You ready for that? Let's get into it. Oh, let's just stop it right there, okay? Before I go on all this dancing. Y'all, I hope you've had a good week. Yuck. Yuck. What is yuck? What is yuck, Shaquansha? Like, what am I saying exactly?
I know. You just stumbled over your words. Are you sure you're ready for this episode? Should we take another week? Because I don't know if you prepared. You stumbling over words. You doing the most. Or excuse me, you're not doing enough. Very unprofessional. You done came in here sitting down with your titties hanging out, girl, with no clothes on. I know that we family, girl, but you still doing too much. Are you okay? Are you sure? You sure you don't need another mental break day? Because I know you've been having a hard week. You haven't been feeling well. How have your doctor's appointments been?
I ain't even said nothing about me being at the doctor, Shaquansha. Why you telling all my business? You continue to tell all my business. Girl, your mouth runs so much, them big ass lips. Like you always running somebody else's business. Worry about your business. What you been doing? Let's talk about the shit you've been going through this week.
Mom's the word. I ain't saying shit. No, ma'am. Not doing it. Not doing it. So let's get into it, bro. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did not. I did not watch the Super Bowl. So that weekend, my friend Puffy Fat Cat was in town. Happy belated birthday to you, boo. And so we hung out. He came into town for the whole weekend. So we went out and had dinner. We had dinner at two places and just chill, caught up, grown up things. And so the football not the football. The Super Bowl was on that Sunday, and we went out to dinner because his birthday was on that Sunday. So we went out to dinner, ate at this really bougie frou-frou restaurant here that's called Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse is what it is downtown. It was delish. You hear me? It was really good food. It was also expensive as fuck. So, my ass was like, girl, this too rich for my blood.
God, I'm surprised that you went, honestly, because, you don't mind spending a little money on things, but you ain't gonna spend a whole lot of money on food. I mean, that just ain't your thing.
Exactly. It's not my thing. Whoever who do that, that's them. I ain't mad at them. You know what I'm saying? Do what you do. We all have our vices. We all have our things that we splurge and put money on or spend money on. But I just don't want to spend that amount of money for me to just shit it out and then have to go to the gym and work out to make sure I don't gain weight. It just didn't seem like a win-win for me.
But didn't he enjoy it? Did Puffy Fat Cat enjoy it? I mean, it was about him. It's his birthday. And I'm going to try to stop saying so much. I'm grown.
Yeah, you should stop saying that so much. But yeah, no, he enjoyed it. He had an absolutely wonderful time. We enjoyed each other's company. His friend La Carlos was there, who is super sweet. That's one thing I say about Puffy Fat Cat. He has really good friends and he's a good judge of character. And so we had a really good time. But yes, I missed the Super Bowl, but we did get to this little spot here. So you know how on our last episode, I was telling you guys about a place here that we used to go to back in the day that was called the Jungle Restaurant and Lounge. Well, there is a place that's here now. It's called Tracks. It's like the Jungle Restaurant and Lounge today's time, 2021. And although it's been there for a long time, it's kind of taken the place. So the same type of people you would see at the Jungle Restaurant and Lounge, you're going to see at Tracks. So after dinner, we went to Tracks, and it was just enough time for us to catch the Super Bowl halftime show. Girl, it was cute. I did feel like, though, it was like for the old heads. You had 50 Cent. Curtis was out there hanging upside down like a gorilla in the mist, girl. And then you had Eminem who came out. And I used to love Eminem, but with this beard, I don't know. Like, does it look like to you that Eminem done had a little work?
It does. His face looked very worked on. And I was like, why does he look like that? And I thought that a beard would look good on him, but it don't look as good as I thought it would look. He looks very like he had a little work done all the time. I mean, now, I ain't gonna turn him away, baby. Eminem, honey, 8 Mile can still come through. Hey, we can do what we need to do. But he does look like he had a little work done, and so his face look a little different. And I know he older now and stuff, so it's just something. He looks a little different. He did.
Eminem don't look real. I mean, Eminem, yeah, he does like he had a little work done, but he's still cool. One thing I like about Eminem, I have always liked his flow. I like the way he rap, the words. So I don't always pay attention to words and songs. It's usually the beat or the hook, the bass. It's always about the bass for me. That song has got to be hidden. It's that bang. And I ain't talking about the bang, but that beat, the bang. Like, it needs to go doom, doom. I need to literally feel the music.
I don't think people know that about you. I don't think they know that you're really a thug in heart. When it comes down to music, like, you have to make sure you have the biggest subwoofer, all the surround sound. You want to hear the highs, the mids, and you want to feel the lows. So if they didn't know and you came rolling through in one of your cars, girl, they would think it was a serious big ass dude up in there, because you just so loud and just so hood with it and just so dudeish.
I've always been that way. I think I get that from my mama. She like that. And then my dad, he's into music, so it's the ear that we have. But I gotta feel it. So what I was saying was, Eminem gives you the the lyrics and the words and the bass. Snoop Dogg was there. Kendrick Lamar, bitch. I know that's your boo, Shaquansha.
Oh my God, Kendrick Lamar's my baby daddy. He is. Like, it's just something about him. He has that old soul, like that Snoop Dogg flavor. You know, like that fish fry and spaghetti at the card game and some Schlitz malt liquor or some old English beer or that old E-girl. And he just give me that vibe and like that activist feel. And his music is so intense. And then he gives you bass too. And when I saw him, I'm like, oh my God, you got the youngins, you got the oldins, you got Auntie Mary J came out there, bitch. She came out there in her glitter, her lame, her silver lame. Girl, now, oh, I don't know if I should say this.
Now, Shaquansha, this is Mary J. And you know how we rock with Mary J. She was doing her damn thing. She looked good, baby.
Yeah, she looked real good. I just wish they would have put more than one bundle in her hair. It was just not, it was thin. Like, girl, you got 35, almost 40 inches worth of hair, girl. You got one bundle. It was the thin for me. It was the wispy for me. And you know how I hate thin and wispy weaves. You know it. And then it was blonde. So with it being blonde and the light, the way it just kind of flows off of it, reflects off of it, it doesn't look full anyway because blonde is light and the lightness of it can always change the density. So, you know, she needs about 5 more bundles to make it full at the end.
But do you think that she didn't want it so heavy? I mean, think about it. She had the wardrobe on. She was moving, baby. She was dancing. And hair makes you hotter, you know?
Well, then I think she should have like a little light bob. I mean, don't come out with all these inches, baby, and you giving me wispy. Girl, if I can see straight through it, if I can see the wind in between your hair, girl, that's not, no. You know how I am about that. You know I love Auntie Mary. I just want whoever, it could have threw some clip-ins just at the end to put a little more weight on it. Because it just was weightless. It was too light. But she did her damn thing, baby. I was just, when I saw everybody, I was excited.
Girl, look, we was at Tracks and baby, everybody was going in and it was a whole vibe. It was like an ode to like Black excellence from the musical era. And then you had Eminem out there. Like I said, you had Curtis hanging upside down, bitch. You know, all that blood was rushing to his head, girl. And then, you know, people have been like really at him in the comments.
Girl, they were talking about he looked like he done gained a little weight. Do they know 50 is almost 50? Like, leave that man alone. To me, he still look good. He got a little weight, but everybody got a little COVID weight. Some people had weight before COVID even was a problem. So I don't even know why they tripping on his weight because they had weight. Hold on, I think I'm screaming. Turn this down. They had weight anyway on them. So it's always big fat folks that's always talking about fat folks. Like, he's big, but he didn't look like Jiggly.
I agree. I mean, when I saw him, I was like, oh, girl, he ain't been in the, you know, front of the screen. He's been behind the scenes, producing, directing. He done got a little weight on it. And I was like, oh, thickums. Okay, Curtis, we see you. We're not going to be able to call you 50 Cent too long. We're going to have to call you 50 pounds or Curtis.
Now, girl, you know how he trolls on the internet. I know you don't think your reach go far, but this could scroll past his desk, girl. You know he will eat you up.
This is true. 50 Cent do be tearing the girls up online like the girls. See, that's when he gives you very much queen-like energy because, baby, the way he be trolling the folks and saying stuff online, he gives me very much alphabet community with all of that.
You said it. I didn't. Don't get me in no shit, Curtis. 50 Cent. Shaquansha did not say that. That was Miss Savon. I don't need the smoke.
Okay, you want to throw me over there to Curtis? I'm going to throw you over there to Mary. We're talking about her wispy weaves. Now, you know you don't do auntie like that. You don't do auntie like that, baby. They both gangsters. We both gonna be
6 feet under. Bitch, playing with them. Okay, but the only thing that was missing was Tupac. I wish Tupac was here because he would have had a really good, piece of the show. Did you see J Lo?
I didn't see Nope. I did not see J Nope. I don't think I really wanted to see J Lo since she was at the whole inauguration of Biden and Harris when she was up there screaming, whisperly singing, "Let's get loud." I was like, girl,
I remember that. I was like, girl, would you please get loud? Like they're whispering, let's get loud. Girl, where did that come from? And then she's on a Super Bowl too. I knew somebody was coming out with an album. And so Mary's album is out, Rent Due. Have you heard it?
I have. I've heard it. I need to listen to it again because I didn't really give it a fair listen when I listened to it because, right now I'm stuck on the have and the have nots.
Girl, don't we know? You have been tearing me up. I've been watching your social media. You really been talking about the have and have nots. We need to recap on that at the end of the show.
Yes, we must because I'm late to it. So I know a lot of people who are listening to the show. They probably have already seen the have and the have nots. So I'm catching up on all the seasons right now. So, we'll have to do that. But so anyways, what's been going on with you? So you have been talking about me not feeling well. I haven't. I feel okay today. My migraines have been back and my allergies and my sinuses and all the other stuff. So I've been like, ugh, I haven't been feeling up really putting any content out.
Well, that's a good thing that you do a lot of content on a regular because you have enough in your arsenal to release while you take this much needed break. So the folks ain't missing nothing. They still seeing your videos with your same 5 outfits.
I have more than 5 outfits. And when you get done, girl, I am working on being sponsored by the Rainbow Shop.
Girl, you shoot high. The Rainbow Shop, girl. Rainbow Fashions. Girl, if you gonna shoot for something bigger than that, girl. You got labels in your closet. Why are you shooting for Rainbow Fashions?
Because they're cute. Like I like their clothes. They fit in a certain kind of way and they don't cost a whole lot because I'm not gonna wear the shit over and over again. So I'm not gonna spend a whole lot on it.
This is true. You'll spend a purse and all that you will, but your clothes, girl, they're very lackluster.
Not too much. Not too much, Shaquansha. Your clothes ain't cute. As a matter of fact, I've seen you picked a few of my pieces.
Just a few, because it ain't much to pull from. We're going to be real about it. So, yeah. So, on the last episode, let's continue, girl. We was talking about the bookstore. Before we move forward, though, are we still on all the platforms?
Yes, we are on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. So, yeah, girl, we out there. Stitcher, we on Stitcher, too, for those who have Stitcher. Did I say Stitcher?
Girl, you probably did. I wasn't listening. You get to talking, girl, and I tune your ass out. So I don't know what you said, but I'm glad we still out there. We got to keep the momentum going because I enjoy doing this with you. I don't enjoy doing a lot of stuff with you, but I enjoy doing this with you. I just don't like when you come in here with no clothes on. I know they can't see you, but you can still represent.
Girl, look, the girls had to breathe. The girls look like they look like they needed to breathe, so I let them breathe. That's what I do. I let them breathe. So they were breathing. Like Tony Braxton, I got to breathe. Ooh, 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 please back up off of me. I've got to breathe. Girl, the way she looking at me. You ain't got to look at me like that. So let's move on into it. So on the last episode, we was telling you guys about Tony, the guy that I got pushed into the stall with, and he accosted me and I had to suck for my life to get out. And, that was a moment that I'll never forget. And, I won't I won't say that it was traumatic because you know me. I like playing with fire. So it wasn't traumatic, but it was an experience. So after then, and we kind of figured out what each other worked. Um, to continue with that, we started hanging out outside of the bookstore, because he knew where I worked and he came up to my place a few times and whew, honey, just made my world worth living. Made life worth living. And girl, I think it was the first time that I ever had my toes sucked. Have you had your toes sucked?
I have. It's something about somebody wet ass mouth on my feet that I don't like. I don't like it.
Girl, that was the first time I had it, and I was oh, girl, I couldn't. It was everything. I knew then that I loved getting my toes sucked, and he put it all in his mouth, and he was just like a gorilla of sorts. Like it was exciting and thrilling and exhilarating and just everything. But I couldn't get past the fact that I met him at the bookstore, and it was just like, this is so gutter butt. Why am I doing this gutter butt shit? I'm a good Christian girl. I shouldn't be in here doing this gutter butt stuff. And then I found out that he was married because he told me he was married.
Well, girl, most of them that go out there are married. Rarely are they single without girlfriend, without wife, without significant other, without something. So, did that just surprise you that he was married? Because you should have known. Most of them are out there dipping, are married or with someone else, and then go home, taking all that mess back to them or bringing it to you.
Well, yeah, he was married. And then I think so we hung out for a while, and then I don't like squash, I don't like circles, and so then like his name came up in a couple circles of the girls, and then I had to cut him completely off because I don't really. It's a small world, and I know that I'm not the only person that's experienced somebody, but I don't like being with people who's been with my friends and my friends' friends, because that's how you pass all this shit around, and I don't like that. I like to feel exclusive. You know what I'm saying? I'm an exclusive bitch.
You do like feeling regal and special. So you're special. I can see that. But I remember you told me about it because what was your friend that she worked at this one restaurant and she knew who he was, and girl, your face when she said his name, girl, your face was like, oh. I didn't know if you was disgusted that she was with him or the fact that y'all shared the same person.
I wasn't disgusted that she was with me because that was my girl. She was a pretty girl, so I could get it. I was just like, I just don't like it. I don't like wearing the same shit that everybody wear. When it come down to different things, I just don't. I like being different and unique as much as I possibly can. And it just, I mean, he wasn't nothing. It wasn't like he was husband material. I mean, he had a good old thing, girl. He was doing his thing, honey. He was making me feel things that I ain't felt before, girl. But there were other people that had come into the picture around then too, because during this time you had the online chat rooms. So you had AOL chat rooms and you had Yahoo chat rooms. And so, I started getting on the chat rooms and talking because they had like the Tennessee transsexuals or Tennessee men for men, and you would find people that was in Nashville, and then you had like the online little dating sites like Tagged, and MySpace was around doing things then, and then you had the other dating sites like what was it called, Adam for Adam, but Adam for Adam wasn't really for the girls. It was for the boys, but not the girls. So I stayed more in the AOL Nashville chat rooms or the Yahoo chat rooms. That's where I was able to find a lot of connections online.
I remember that. I want to say, isn't that where you met the Puerto Rican Poppy? That's what we're going to give him his name. It's the Puerto Rican Poppy. I remember him. He was kind of stalkerish at first.
Oh, the Puerto Rican Poppy. Let's talk about him. And I think, so let's talk about Jeffrey. from the have and have nots. And then I'll bring it on in together because Jeffrey from the have and have nots was, is, well, it's still on, I guess. So he met, um, what was that police officer's name? I don't remember the police officer's name on the have and have nots, but he met him through a traffic stop, and I could tell that the police officer was very intrigued by Jeffrey when he found out he was gay, and so he assaulted him somewhat. And, when he was arresting him, and then, or at least tried to, but nothing really happened. I thought that was kind of hot, even though it's wrong. And I don't condone sexual violence or anything like that. I just like playing with fire. And I thought that was really hot. You would. What I was saying was, I just thought it was really hot. And so there was moments there. So to watch that character and Jeffrey and the officer just kind of, continue on. And then when Jeffrey decided to take his power back and he was like, no, you're not going, I know you like it. I know there's more to this. And he chained him to the bed, and that just kind of like started their little fucked up affair, I would say. And so now we're at a point to where, oh boy, family disowns him, the officer's family disown him. The wife left him, he's lost everything, and he's still like engulfed. He is obsessed with Jeffrey. And Jeffrey likes that he likes, how you have the girls that like the straight boys, and they always go after the straight boys, and they know they straight or bi or tri or fluid or whatever you want to call it, because the community's got like, it's the alphanumeric community. We've got everything out here now. So Jeffrey likes the little bad boys. He likes the ones that oh, I'm not gay, I'm not this, blah blah blah. So the Puerto Rican Poppy, we met on the Yahoo Tennessee chat room. And at the time, he had just joined the army, and I think he was in Germany at the time. So we talked for a few years while he online only while he was in Germany. And I think at the time he was probably like 18 or 19, and I don't remember how old I was, but I know he was younger than me. And it was just chat. So it was cool. Everybody chat with everybody online. So it wasn't like it was nothing major going on. As long as you couldn't really verify their ages, but you had to ask and make sure, because you don't want to be on there getting fucked up by some child who's pretending to be somebody else like they do today. But anyway, so he was on there, he was chit chatting, talking, and he was originally from New York, and he was in the army. He joined the army because he was getting a whole lot of trouble. So he had like that bad boy image. And, he talked. He liked trans girls. More importantly, he liked BBW. And so, with me being a BBW trans woman, he was very interested. Let me just say that. Very interested. And so we chatted online, and I chatted online with a whole bunch of people, and we chatted online. And then when he finished his basic training or whatever he was doing in Germany for like 2 years, he came to the States, and he was stationed in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, which is not like but an hour and a half from me. So when he moved here, we started talking, we continued talking, and then we met up. Girl.
I remember when y'all met up. He was cute. He was really short though. I didn't understand. Like, girl, you always ended up with these really short little men. They were really little, and y'all always looked really weird. You know what I'm saying, with these liberty on me. And then at the time, you was fluffy wuffy girl. You was the big girl. You had this big girl. You had this liberty boy, and and he was fit and he was muscular and stuff, but he was just like little. And I swear, like when y'all stood by each other, like he like stopped at your butt.
He was little. He wasn't a little person like that. And quit saying little boy, because I don't want people to get the wrong idea and be thinking I was messing with somebody's child like that. I mean, I'm sure he's somebody's child. He was a grown man. But you know what I'm saying. Don't say little boy like that, because then, you put things in people's ears. And, it don't take much when this community, girl, the girl, they already think we're strange and we doing stuff like that. But I don't do stuff like that. But he was. And the one thing about the Puerto Rican poppy that confused me was I always felt like I was in a threesome with him. Does that, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm. I don't know what you mean. What you mean? A threesome with him? Y'all had somebody else in the room with y'all? Like you feel like he had multiple personalities? Like what do you mean?
Well, so initially, let me just give you guys some backstory of him. So when he moved and he finished his training in Germany, he was in Fort Campbell, and he started calling and writing and video chatting. And then I think one night he was out with his boys. They came down to Nashville, and they were partying or whatever. And I guess he had a little bit much to drink, and he was like, I'm not gonna be able to drive all the way back, so can I stop by? And I was like, cool. So he stopped by. Girl, man, all I'm gonna say is when he came up in that house, girl, oh, he was everything. Six pack, girl. He was short. He was definitely short, but he had that New York swag about him, honey. He had the tattoos. He was a bad boy, baby. He just looked like he wanted to slop me up with a biscuit. And girl, listen, I know what slopping up with a biscuit is like, girl. I like to slop biscuits up with juice and gravy too, girl. So when he was looking at me like he wanted to slop me up like a biscuit, I was for it. Lord Jesus, let me be slopped. Okay. So I was all about it. And we had a cute time. And so we continued to have cute times. I mean, we didn't get into like a serious relationship or anything, but we kept having cute times. I think he had went through 3 or 4 deployments. And of course, we would still stay in contact during those deployments. And then when he come home, he would come over. But the one thing that kind of really messed it up for us was the fact that I never thought that he was single. I never thought that he wasn't without someone. But on that 3rd deployment, we was chit chatting and talking there. I knew he had a girl. I knew he had a girl. I knew she had a child by him, and all that other stuff. And I mean, I don't feel bad about it. I don't want nobody being in my mentions. Oh, you mess with him and he had somebody, girl. You don't always know who got who. And in that world, especially when you online dating and you meet people, hell, you can meet them in the club. You still don't know who they got. They can have somebody on the side. So you just don't know. And so he had somebody. And so when he was going on his 3rd deployment, I'm skipping a lot because the situationship, because I won't call it a relationship, was a lot like Jeffrey and the police officer, with the exception of violence. Like he never hit me or anything like that, but he would drive by my house. He would show up unannounced. There would be moments when he would come, into town, come to Nashville and hang out with his boys. He would always drive separately. And I wondered if they probably had the code, because, they going to hook up with somebody. They coming from base. They going to have their own car. So I guess it wasn't too suspicious. But they would come over, and he would always land up at my house. And then the one time that he came to my house, him and his girlfriend had an argument, and he was pissed. And so he called, and he was drunk. And I was like, don't drive, just like find you a hotel. You've had too much to drink. But he would always run to me.
Oh, so you Whitney Houston now? He gonna run to you, girl? That little boy was always running to your house. He got on my nerves running to your house. I ain't gonna lie. You thought all that shit was cute. I didn't think it was cute. I thought it was very pathetic. And I thought, for a while, I kept looking at you like you had low self-esteem. I was like, girl, why she keep dealing with this little bum dude? Like, he had like one or two kids, right? And I think both of them kids he had while with you. And running back and forth when he would get drunk. Like, he was very much DL, very much closeted, very much fuckboy. He gave fuckboy energy, in my opinion. And I thought he was cute. I was like, girl, you have options. Why you keep fucking with him? Like, I really thought you had low self-esteem.
I mean, people could take it as low self-esteem, but it wasn't. I liked playing with fire, and it was interesting. And I like to see his turmoil. I like to see him. I'm toxic. Hi, my name is Savon, and I'm toxic. Well, I'm not now, but I used to be. Now I don't like all that shit. I like the peace. I like the easy peasy. I like knowing what it is. But at the time, I was young and very much like Jeffrey, and toxicity I was very attracted to. And if you were too into me or too nice, I would very get turned off, just like Jeffrey get turned off on the show. But if you was like a fuck boy and toxic and all the other stuff, I would always be in your face and letting you come back and forth and running in and out of the house and just looking real foolish. I will admit to that, looking real foolish, but I was young. You got to remember, I was young and just really coming out and exploring life because everybody else got to do all this in junior high and high school. I came out when I was grown, young adult, like 19. So it wasn't like I had all the time that everyone else had. I was learning and going through all the predating mistakes and stupid decisions in my late 18s, early 20s, mid 20s. So it was just like it was fun to see him go through all of it. It was fun to see him run to my house and his wife get or girlfriend get mad. And she would find me online and she would tell me different things. And I think they had finally gotten married and he was about to go on his third deployment over to where was he going? It wasn't Baghdad. It was Afghanistan. And he was going on his third tour because he always won them tours and got that hazard pay and everything else. And he called me and was talking and was just like, I appreciate you still hanging in there with me, blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. I'm going to do another 2 years over there and then I'm going to be done. And, they really leaned on the connection in the US, me and whoever else he was talking to, because I never thought I was the only one. But I remember on that particular day that he was messaging me and she was watching his messages because she had also messaged me and she was like, "You not the only one. He's got these others, blah, blah, this and blah blah that, and I just want you to know that you're not the only one he talking to, and he's saying the same thing to everybody." And of course I was like, "Well, girl," and she said, "And we married now, and I figured you should know that." And I was like, this is not the first time that she's approached me. I think if anything, this was like the third or fourth time. And so when she was talking to me, I didn't want to discredit because I can imagine what she was going through. Like, your baby daddy, your husband is out here messing with the trans girls. And, I can imagine how that made her feel. But she was trying to enlighten me on all these things, and you're not the only one. I just wanted you to know, and I can show you the text messages and the messages. And I was just like, I never thought I was the only one. I wasn't the one that was putting all in. I didn't say I do. I pretty much figured I wasn't the only one. I mean, I knew that he was with you. I didn't know that you guys had gotten married. And so while talking to her on chat, I was also talking to him. And I was like, "So you married?" And the chat got real quiet. And then my phone started ringing. And I looked at my phone and it was him. And I was like, "So you married?" And he was like, "Yo, how did you know that?" And I was like, yo, your wife." Apparently she's your wife now. So your wife told me that y'all got married and that she's pregnant, which I will like your second child. And now that I think about it, this wasn't the same young lady that he was with when we first met. This was somebody else. So this was his second baby mama. And I believe the first one, yeah, the first one knew about me too, but this was the second baby mama. And so the first one was like, it's either her or me. At least that's the way he made it seem. I don't know. But I think she left because he wouldn't stop messing with me, because he wouldn't. Because even when I stopped talking to him for a while, because it hit this, think about it, this started when he was like 18. And I think we had been talking, it had been like 10 years that I knew him, because the last time that I saw him was in 2010. Yep. It was 2010, and he had driven all the way from Fort Campbell to where I live at now, which is damn near 200, pretty much 2 hours away almost. And my best friend was over here. And this is how you know, because, a lot of time the DL boys, the fuck boys, don't want to come around when nobody else is around. They don't want nobody to see them. And he was just like, I'm just really tired and I want to see you. And I was like, if you want to drive all the way down here just to get some sleep, you can do that. Now, bitch, I knew he wasn't coming all the way down here to go to sleep. But at the time, this is, of course, after the third deployment. I've moved forward. I'm falling out of timelines and I'm talking out of order. But this is just painting the picture. He came all the way and I was done with him. And but anyway, let me move back. We may get to that if I get too deep. I'm trying to save some of this stuff because you never know if I make it big, girl, and I have to write a book. I want there to be some things in there that y'all don't know. So I can't tell y'all everything.
Girl, please don't tell him everything. Don't tell him everything, girl. Keep some shit. But I remember when he came down there and talking about he wanted to rest. And then I remember you calling me because he left because he was trying to get some booty. You was cutting your yard and you came in and you was going to take a shower and you came out and he was straddling across your bed, girl. And you was like, dude, bounce with all that. Because your friend was over here. Your best friend was over here. And so you told him, if you want to go to sleep, go to sleep. I mean, don't be doing all that.
Yeah, and that's how it was. But what happened? So the last straw for he and I remember that I had a now mind you, every time he had an issue, he wanted to come to my house, he could. Every time that well, not every time. Sometimes he would show up unannounced. And then a couple times he's come over and I had company and he knew because it was a car that was there that wasn't there. And he would call and he'll be real mad and angry. And I'll be like, first of all, why are you down here coming over here? You don't live down here. It ain't like you came across town. You came through a couple cities to get to me, a couple counties you passed to get to me just to be nosy. Like that shit was creepy, but it was also cute to me. Remember, I liked toxic men at the time. But so there was this one time I was getting I had to go see a client. So at one of my jobs, I was an account manager, and we had to go visit one of our clients for the company just to talk about their relationship with us, what have you. I won't get into all that. And I wanted to come up to his house and stay the night, because he's come to my house and stayed the night. And he had his own place at the time to stay the night, so that I wouldn't have to get up so early to drive to Fort Campbell, because one of the young ladies that we were riding in with, both of them lived in Clarksville. Sorry. So I want to already be in Clarksville so I can meet up with them, and then we head to the clients and then come on back. And so I wanted to be already up there. And he said, yeah, cool. But then he had something about he had to watch his daughter. He had to do something and I couldn't stay. And I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, so just fuck me. Because it's always felt like, how the fuck boys be. It's always about them, and it's always about what's convenient for them. But when it comes down to you, it's not convenient for you. And I was like, I'm not that person. I'm not that person. I'm not running to your house. I'm not stalking you. I'm not bugging you. Like, I have a plethora of other people that I can deal with. As a matter of fact, that's been your problem. So why is it that, you can't be there for me this one time? So I remember us getting into a really heated discussion, and he was like, I mean, what am I supposed to do? You just can't stay here, and that's just it. So I remember telling him, I said, fuck you, fuck your kids, fuck your man, fuck all of them.
Girl, you told that boy to fuck his kids. You really said fuck his kids.
I did.
You ain't shit. I don't think I knew that. You knew how much he loved his kids. You really said fuck his kids.
I did. And that was before I moved into my house. So I didn't talk to him for a while. And he would mail me, he would call me, he would text me. And you know me, I don't block numbers and I don't change phone numbers because I want you to know that I am ignoring you. I want you to know that I'm not answering the phone. I'm not sending you to voicemail quickly. I want it to ring all 5, 6, 7 times and then you go to voicemail. I want you to see me actively online and still not respond to you. That's me. That's how I move. Some people like, I don't block them. I don't want them to see me. No, I want you to see me moving. I want you to see everything. Don't miss shit. And so that was the last time I had talked to him for years. And then he had reached out to me and that's how we got to the point where he reached out to me and he was talking about something, I really miss you, blah, blah, blah. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have did you that way. And I was like, girl, this is exactly what I said. I said, girl, I'm done with that. Like, I've always felt like in this situation, I was in a threesome situation with you anyway. And he was like, how do you feel that you were in a threesome situation? We never had anybody else with us. And he was right. But so, dude, I don't know. You know how so men have fetishes, right?
Yeah, I do. A lot of men like me for my lips because they're so big and voluptuous. And if you guys have never seen me, you guys make sure you are going out there to the Savon Experience on YouTube. You've seen me. You will see me on her shows. Shaquansha Realness is my name on Instagram and YouTube. And we've also done some TikToks together. So anyway, everybody know I have very sensuous eyes and very lubricated lips. And so a lot of men like me for my lips.
Well, he was very much into Keisha.
Girl, I don't think they know about Keisha. Tell them who Keisha is.
So you know how everybody has a name for either a body part or a member or personality. So Keisha is my booty. Her name is Keisha. Her name has always been Keisha. And he had this obsession with my booty. So, to the point to where I felt like when we were intimate, he would really just would rather me take my whole head off and personality, leave the room and just leave Keisha right there and he would be totally fine. It wasn't about anything but Keisha. He personified Keisha. Girl, the last time before we had the falling out, I went up there to his house and bitch, I went to sleep and I woke up. This motherfucker was laying on my booty. His head was on the small of my back. He was laying on my booty and he was whispering to Keisha. Bitch, he was talking. He was just like, oh my God, you so goddamn big and juicy and you just this and that.
Stop. Stop telling me that. I don't know. I remember that story. Girl, he did. I remember one time, I was sitting there and he called you, girl, and he was talking about Keisha. You remember when he found you on Instagram, girl?
Yeah. Y'all, so let me tell you the story. So after he had that issue with Keisha and then we fell out, and I told him, I said, I've always felt like I was competing with my own booty. And you don't know how that feels. Like, bitch, how you gonna have a problem with yourself? Like, you didn't like me. You didn't really care about me. You just wanted the booty. And I know some of the females know what I'm talking about because they got they got the NQ. I call it the nasty queen, girl. The NQ nasty queen. And not in a derogatory place. Like, pleasure house, real cute. And then you have the petunia and you got the booty, which is Keisha. And so I know how the females feel like when they're like, oh, he just want me for my stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's all about my stuff. But girl, when they make you feel like you don't matter, it's just your stuff. Like, he's whispering to your stuff. He talking to it. He caressing it. It's like a whole person. So that shit creeped me the fuck out. I was like, man, it's the booty. What is you doing? Why is you talking to it like that? Why is you caressing it like that? And first of all, bitch, why am I jealous of my own booty? Girl, I was like, I know I am not sitting here feeling some kind of way about my own booty. I can't be.
And you was. You was feeling some kind of way about your own booty. Girl, you stopped talking to that boy because you was uncomfortable. It was kind of creepy, I ain't gonna lie, because the times that I've seen him with you, the way he would be looking at your booty, it was like, bitch, he was gonna chop your head off, throw your face and head away, and just keep Keisha. So when he found you on Instagram, how did you know?
Well, girl, I wasn't talking to him. So his messages on any of the platforms that I knew he was on under whatever name that he was on was being ignored. But he started following me under a different name on Instagram. And then one day, after many years, he messaged me and he had began his session with therapy, which was very good of him because he needed that. You know, all those people don't understand with our veterans, and this is a serious moment, when they go and they deploy and they witness so much, during war and, any type of political army wars and things like that. It can be traumatic, very, very traumatic. And so when he came back from his third deployment, he was very different. Very reserved, very to himself. He didn't like doing a lot of things. He didn't like going out. He didn't like a lot of loud noises and rambunctious people. So I think that one of the things that he liked about me was that my space was very exclusive. It was very selective. It wasn't a lot of people ever over at my house. I didn't really tell his business to anybody, so he could trust talking to me and things of that nature. But so he started following me on a different name, and so evidently, according to him, he was talking to his therapist, and allegedly, I meant a whole lot to him, and his therapist was like, "You need to call her, you need to talk to her, you need to apologize and say you're sorry for all the things," and he did, but I wasn't ready to hear it. So I remember telling him, fuck him and his therapist. And I told his therapist if he was a real therapist, he wouldn't be encouraging him to contact people that he done fucked over because it's not going to do nothing but cause more damage. I didn't want to hear from him. I was really pissed off at the fact that, that last time, and it wasn't just that he didn't let me stay. It was almost like the straw that broke the camel's back. When you're dealing with dudes who are not really, really out of the closet, or they want to be, they feel like the world is going, they're still very sus and DL. You just get tired of it because their actions and the way they treat you when it comes to the world knowing is very offensive. You begin to question yourself and be like, damn, am I that bad? Like, if somebody knew you was messing with me, is it that bad? Even though it has nothing to do with you. So I do want to say this before we move forward. If anyone listening to this is in a situation with DL men, married men, closeted men, discreet, because it's another name they go by, discreet, know that those issues aren't yours. They're not your issues. That's not your problem to bear. It's not your solution either. It's not your issue to fix. So just know that. Let them sit in their own shit and let them fix it. But don't make it be a reflection of your worth and who you are, because it's not. is not a reflection of your work and who you are. So you just can't let that be. You can't let it run you. You just can't. You can't let it run you. You have got to allow it to stay in its lane. Okay. A lot of people take that stuff, they take it on real seriously, and they blame themselves for stuff that other people are going through. And that's not on you. They have to fix it for themselves. And I just told him to fuck him and his therapist. I didn't want to hear his apologies because I was just so done at that time. Like all the years of talking to him, being friends, and all of that stuff. And true enough, he didn't show me anything other than his authentic self. So it was really me making up excuses in my head for him. And a lot of people do that. But what I've learned, if somebody really want to be with you, if they really, really into you, they'll do the work. So what I've learned, hindsight being 2020, is that he's done the work. Even to this day, there's been moments he's reached out, and because I've grown and I don't hold on to shit, because I was mean and I would say mean shit. The shit that I would say, Shaquansha, will be so mean. And I was like, if he's going to talk to me, I'm going to be like Venom. I'm going to say the most fucked up shit that I can say back to him. And he just wouldn't go nowhere. He liked that shit. He really liked that.
Well, girl, take it from me. Men like, there's two books that people need to read. A lot of the girls need to read that he's just not that into you. And when I say girls, I mean girls and guy girls. For the alphanumeric community and the straight community. That book is truth, okay? It is the Bible, in my opinion, because when somebody really wants you and really love you, they do the needful. They'll take the appropriate steps to be with you. They won't make up a whole bunch of excuses. They'll do what needs to be done. That's simple. No matter the situation, no matter the fear, they will do the work. Point blank, period. And then there's another book that's called Why Men Love Bitches. Because they also like, a lot of men like bitches. They like people who talk real fucked up to them. And so with the Puerto Rican Poppy, what I learned about him is, one, at one point in time when he first met you, he just wasn't into you. Now, at this point in time, if you gave him another chance, do you think that he would do what he needs to be done?
If I gave him a chance, yeah, I think so. That ship had sailed because what I have now is way better. Now, my bae is not a bad boy, and that's fine. And even though I like playing with fire, I done got burnt enough to where I'm tired of being burnt. Okay, my skin is scarred, so I don't really. I'm not gonna say I don't like it. I do. I still like it. I'm just smarter. I make decisions based off of, not with my heart anymore, with my mind, and I make very calculated and I make very thought out decisions. And so. He's Puerto Rican Poppy is just not because he's still very much into Keisha, and Keisha still very much he still it's weird because there's things that he would say, messages that he would send that very much let me know he's still into Keisha. He watches my TikToks, he watches my YouTube, he watches my Instagrams, he's watching everything. And if he knows about this podcast, he's probably listening. And I'm not saying nothing that's going to offend him, hopefully, but he may drop a line, but he knows the history that we have there, and it's interesting. It wasn't all bad, but it just it reminded me of Jeffrey and his police officer. He got whooped, girl. He was whooped. Keisha whooped him. And I if I didn't know her power, I learned now that she's got a lot of power, honey. And Jeffrey must got a lot of power too, because that little boy, that little police officer, Lord Jesus. And I thought it was so hot, but then when they started fighting and he started beating them, and then anybody that he thought was a friend, he was tearing up their cars. I was like, okay, then that's not cute. You doing too much. Like, be a little jealous, but that's just too much. But it was still kind of hot. I still sit there and I was like, oh, that's hot. Oh, why do we like dangerous men like that?
Girl, I don't know. Because a lot of times they don't even have no good dick. Sometimes they just be dangerous. Some people think that good dick be dangerous. You don't mean having good dick all the time. It's something psychological about it. It's just psychological. I remember having it good, but yeah. So you think you won't ever, deal with anybody like that again?
I hope not. I like my situation that I'm in now. It's healthy. It's balanced. Um, it's working. It's successful. Um, I do feel like we need to probably like switch it up a little bit where we have a little bad boy moments. You know what I'm saying? Like it needs to be spiced up a little bit so it's not so bland, but I wouldn't trade it in.
That's cute. That's cute for you. I hope they hear this so he'll know that. That's real. That's real mature of you. Well, for me, honey, girl, I still want toxic dick, bitch. I want toxic dick. I want that angry dick, bitch. I want that sneaking around my house, looking in my windows dick, bitch. I want all that. I want it all because I don't have time for all that other stuff. I mean, you and they, y'all cool. That's cute for y'all or whatever. But girl, I need somebody to don't make love to me, honey. Screw me. Beat it out of honey. Beat the cat. Why? Beat it. God, beat it. Honey, I want you to come up with different outfits. I want you to role play. I want you to be a different person every time I see you, bitch. I want to be a different person, bitch. I want all of that. I want all the shenanigans. All of it. Well, girl, I mean, so I'm gonna go and lay low because I done said what I said about big fat neck 50 Cent Curtis, girl. So he's probably gonna be looking for me, girl. So let me go get in my corner. And, and then Mary J, girl. Hopefully, if she come find me, girl, she come with some bundles because them babies was wispy. I don't need her because she up here with 3 strands, girl. It's gonna be over. But halftime was cute. I hope you have a good week and I hope you continue to feel better. And let's make sure we're on task next time. Let's not be so late with putting out the podcast as I enjoy this. Okay?
Okay, Shaquansha, I appreciate you joining the show. Listen, you guys, thank you so much for listening. Be sure if you have any questions, comments, or things that you want us to talk about, reach out to us at the Savon Experience at gmail.com. Well, I'm gonna go because I'm gonna get back up here, let Shaquansha get home, and then I'm going to go and watch some more of the Have and Have Nots. Bye, y'all.